It's not the one that wrestles that's the strong one. It's the one that's able to maintain his mental stability and anger that's actually the strong man. Something along those lines. There was a saying like that, and it's actually roots from the Holy Quran, and in our Islamic principles in general about how and what we should carry ourselves as throughout our daily lives. And point is honestly that anger is basically one of the at the root one of the most powerful feelings that could make or break any of us as a person. And just like anger, there are other feelings like just all types of other emotions, happiness as well, lust, that's a big one. All these other feelings that could consume you and outwardly show if you really let yourself go there. And so that's truly the separating factor between one who is able to truly conquer themselves versus one who is a slave to those emotions. And honestly, there is a blessing in that, because that is like a obvious plain ground where the key to you mastering yourself. Like, let's say, imagine, like, how in video games there's like a skill tree, right? And you could max out like the physical combat versus, like, let's say, charisma or like the magical ability. And you could choose to be more of a range type person, or you could choose to be more of a combat, like hand to hand, whichever one you max out. And you could max out all of them, and you could do a little bit of everything. Not a little bit, you could max out on everything. Just like that, when it comes to self mastery, there is a skill tree in a way, and that skill tree is the levels of mindfulness and presence you could have in the moment itself, rather than letting yourself react to anything as it comes. It's one thing to react to like an actual life or death consequence situation, or you need to defend yourself, loved ones, whatnot. That's like obvious one. If a car is about to like hit you or something, obviously you react. But in regular life, just like verbal exchanges, just things that are not life or death, but they could induce anxiety in you, like in you and me. You and I have all the reasons to be nervous and anxious about it, but it's not actual fear, because fear, like true fear, is one there's actually like a consequence that's apparent. But anxiousness is like something that's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna end your life, or it's not gonna, like, things are not gonna fall apart, but it still has that feeling of like discomfort. That's anxiousness. And so anxiousness can be approached in a much different manner. You don't need to have a reaction to it right away. Bring yourself you could bring yourself back to the moment, literally, like, think in your head, left, right, left step, right step, left step, right step. Whichever step you're taking, you think of that. And like, just think of exactly what you're doing in the moment, to the minuscule details. That is one of the most effective ways to bring yourself back to the moment. And it's not easy. I mean, that's a simple one, but it's not easy. It still takes some mental effort to do that. And so, yeah. That was a tangent. The point here is, like, key to self mastery is controlling our emotions and being able to intentionally channel what we want. Even if we're feeling anger at one moment, that doesn't mean it needs to come out in a dramatic, crazy, lashing out type of way.